What's good, everybody? It is Wednesday, March 7th, 2022. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. I am the coach, and we are powered by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it is not close. What an incredible day we have in store here at the brand. The chat is already popping. Hit the like button for me just one time. It really helps the show. It helps us grow. Now, as always, before we look forward, we must look back, and what a really fun, positive day. Last night, if you watched our live NBA stream, there should be like that emoji with the throw up next to Andrew Wiggins. He had 23 at the start of the fourth quarter and could not get anything in the fourth quarter. Not one assist, not one rebound, not 1 point, nothing in the fourth quarter. So that is an X. But several leans as well. You got to watch the show live because Alex and Mikey, there is nobody better when it comes to NBA and props. As far as our normal morning show yesterday, how about this? Zach Peck continues to do his thing. Alabama 4-3, nicely done by her. Mikey B. Now the Raptors did lose, but if you watched the NBA live stream, M Squared told you he expected the Nets to play very, very well. So you're getting a lot of good information. Use it for yourself. And then we hit both parts of the underdog play of the day. But the thing you all have been waiting for, the Ab3 Caches for the 5th day in a row. So my apologies. AB got me a late shift at Chick-fil-A because I'm going broke over here, paying out all this cash money. We've got two big winners right here, right now, of $100 cold hard cash. So at Earl the Pearl 74, at Earl the Pearl 74, and at Alio 46 and 2, you are the two winners. I personally will reach out to you on social media and Venmo you $100. And the next time we have an AB3, we'll come up with something very good as well. I've made the stars wait long enough. Let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know, on a big Wednesday, I'm going 5 wide today. So first and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level, M Squared. Boy, last night was fun, wasn't it?
Last night was fun other than Andrew Wiggins. You mentioned that he didn't do anything in the fourth quarter. That's because he didn't play in the fourth quarter. They had a blowout. That is why he did not get any other stats. So, yeah, that one was definitely my worst beat of the season.
Well, it's one of those things, and it's funny when people on social media say, how come you say you were on the right play, but it didn't hit? That's exactly what we are talking about. You can't control blowouts. You can't control those types of things. You just got to keep on trusting the process. Now, live from Las Vegas. Oh, the man just keeps cashing tickets for us. Zach Simony, good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see the big cast today. This is that time of the year where the grind doesn't beat you up, it gets you up. I got up extra early today, 5 a.m. here in Vegas time, and I'm ready to go. Got a couple plays, and I'm actually liking the board. I think I'll have 4 on the site today.
Did you say it doesn't beat you up, it gets you up? Damn it, I love that. Oh, I love that so much. Now, this next man, he's been an executive. He's been a big part of everything Major League Baseball. But thankfully, the man got out. And now he's part of our team here. And thank goodness, because Major League Baseball is not even playing right now. Johnny Bowman, welcome back to the show, big boy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Coach. I'm happy to be back. It's a little bit of a somber day with MLB news last night, but we've got some college baseball plays today, so it's not all bad.
It's not all bad. We always find the silver lining. And Major League Baseball announcing at least the first 2 series of the season not going to be played. Now, the final man, he is our OG. You know he's our rock. Maestro, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. I'm still recovering personally from Vandy's collapse at home against Florida.
Oh.
Hard. If you want to watch that, that will be a torture chamber if you were on Vandy. But just one thing I've noticed is, you know, these home teams, there's just so much pressure. There's so much, you know, riding on it, especially for guys like Scottie Pippen Jr., who's brought the program back. And it just feels like some of these home teams are really pressing because there's just so much focus on March. And, you know, are you going to do it? Are you going to make a run? Are you going to possibly get into the tournament? Sometimes the pressure is too much.
You know, I was tailing that game with you. And as I'm watching, they were up 7 with a minute 10 to go or whatever it was and couldn't score again. And Scottie Pippen was part of the reason for that. Oh, but he played so good.
Oh, yeah.
for 39 minutes. Oh, that was tough to watch. They hit a 3 with, 8 seconds to go to win?
And then he got to the foul line with a chance to send it to overtime, missed the first.
And missed the first. Oh, that was just brutal all the way around. Between Andrew Wiggins and that, my goodness. All right, enough of yesterday. We've got to turn the attitude around because we had a pretty good day yesterday. Just had a couple of bad beats. So let's get into storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And we are on the eve of one of the big tournaments of the year on the PGA Tour. They've really started to elevate certain tournaments, and the Arnold Palmer Invitational is one of those. The purse is immense. The first prize check is huge, and we're here for it. Mikey, start us off.
Yeah, I love this tournament, and you're right, Coach. They've definitely started to elevate this event lately. I want to talk about what's going to be important here. Most tournaments, you're going to hear strokes gained approach is going to be important. That is true here for sure. Strokes gained off the tee as well. But it's one of the few courses that really I start to factor in driving distance as I'm looking for some of those longer hitters. It really puts them in more advantageous situations at this track. Those guys that I have my eyes on this week, Will Zalatoris rates at the top of the field in terms of strokes gained on the approach. He added some length to his driver. We've talked about this in a couple of times already this year, but he's added several yards to the drive, put him up into the top 20 in the driving distance. Really like him here. Another guy Coach has been on, Cameron Young, rates 5th in driving distance. He is someone who is quietly climbing those leaderboards in all of those key metrics that we care about. And then finally, Adam Scott. Adam Scott is someone who's played relatively well so far this season. Long off the tee, everything sets up very nicely for him here at the Arnold Palmer.
And Adam Scott historically has played well in Florida as well. So I love that also. By the way, Jason Day had to withdraw this morning. He was my sleeper. If you guys watched the first cut on Tuesday, he was my sleeper pick for the week, but he had to withdraw today, unfortunately. All right. Now, you mentioned my man say that Major League Baseball is not playing right now. And I cannot watch Rob Manfred stand in front of a camera anymore and say, it takes two sides. We got to have two sides to make it. Stop it. Get it done. But we're not focused on that today. Johnny, what are you focused on?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about Rob Manfred today. I had enough of him for maybe a lifetime, to be honest. But as the MLB lockout continues, we are going to get into college baseball. And how do you get into college baseball? Well, you bet on it. And how do you watch and how do you gamble on college baseball? Well, a lot of the games are on ESPN Plus, not all of them, but a majority of them. And then most lines are on DraftKings. There definitely aren't a ton of lines on DraftKings, but the lines that are up are on DraftKings. And not too many storylines tonight. We don't have many lines, but true freshman Tommy White, as I mentioned on Monday, has 9 home runs in 8 games for NC State. He's playing tonight against Campbell. He has multiple hits in 7 of his 8 games played this season. So I'll be looking at him to see if he stays breaking out.
Now, I tell people all the time to follow you on Twitter because you're so active and you're always giving updates. What times do normally the college baseball lines come out, or do you feel comfortable with?
Yeah, good question. So college baseball lines really don't come out until about the morning of 8 a.m. Eastern time is around when I usually see the lines. And don't be scared because not every line is on the book. So you kind of have to work with what's on the book, and that's what we'll be doing.
Okay. And follow our experts. That's why you come here. You trust us, and we appreciate you trusting us. And there's nobody I trust more with baseball than my man, Johnny B. All right. Now, while one sport is just beginning, there's another sport that is getting into the meat. Conference championships. Oh, we're talking about March Madness. But before that, there has to be senior day and senior night. Zach Attack, you're up.
Yeah, all this week, pretty much the final home games of teams are going to be senior day. So we've already seen a few the past couple of days. Yesterday, we saw Villanova, Boise State, and a play I had against UMass Lowell did not cover. So there's a little bit of value to go against teams on senior day for whatever that may be. And keep in mind, these seniors aren't typical seniors. You know, you have the usual medical red shirts, the transfer sit out years, but all these seniors have had that bonus year because of COVID. So you have 5th year, 6th year, and even 7-year seniors. You'd be surprised to look at these rosters and see the age of these players. You have some 24, 25-year-olds. So that is something to keep in mind today. And I know on Monday I had the play on Fordham, and today is UMass senior day. That line is 4.
All right. Great information as always from the man I like to call the silent assassin out there in Las Vegas. By the way, my man Eric said, Coach, damn meeting ran over. Glad I made it. Eric, we're glad you made it too. What's up, man? What's all these companies having meetings? Don't they know we're here every single day at 10 a.m.? Come on. Stop it. All right. Now, senior day is always big. But also, when you got two teams in a conference that is stacked, then sometimes March Madness starts before March Madness starts. Maestro, what am I talking about?
Yeah, it's pretty much a play-in game for Indiana and Rutgers tonight at Indiana. Both teams squarely on the bubble. Some bracketologists have them barely in, some have them barely out. The only meeting of the season. Rutgers coming in on a downturn with 3 straight losses, but they have the better wins on their resume. Indiana has finally gotten it together with a couple of wins. And I just want to point out that Mike Woodson, the old school guy, he suspended 5 guys right before a game at Northwestern. They lost that game. That game could keep them out of the tournament. That loss. But since Xavier Johnson was one of those 5, the starting point guard who transferred from Pitt, 23 years old, lightning fast guy, he has finally slowed down a little bit. Scored 24 points each of the past 2 games, 7 of 9 from 3-point range, a lot of assists, very few turnovers. So he is playing well, but can he do it against Rutgers tonight? He did it against Minnesota and Maryland. So we shall see tonight in Bloomington.
Oh, Rutgers is such a different team away from the rack. So keep that in mind. -5 is where that number sits right now. My girl Rebecca in the chat says, work can be so annoying. Rebecca, I agree with you. It can get in the way. My man Matt says, where is Matty? He just got out of another meeting. Apparently, he says he listens to the show in his ear during meetings. That's next level. That's next level dedication. That's how you win $100 right there. You're not winning today, Matt, but that's how you do it. All right, let's get into our board for the day. All right. Now, I made a little switch. We had a different play. And I said, nope, I got to go with my man Buckets. And guess what? Everybody in the chat right now is talking about buckets. They need more buckets in their lives. So I'm going to give it to you today. Not a ton of soccer out there, but there is some. Athletic Bilbao, draw no bet. Athletic Bilbao, draw no bet. +100. We love that number. They've been playing great as of late. And I'm telling you, there's all kinds of these leagues out there, and Bucket seems to find that edge with some teams that I can't even pronounce. All right, so we're going to go Athletic Bilbao. Then we're going to go to college hoops. Our man Mad Max in the Thunderdome. He's on Fordham +4. He says, this makes no sense. Listen to this number. UMass, 0-6-1 straight up in their last 7 games. They fired their head coach. Fordham beat UMass 2 days ago by 12 points. 2 days ago. Same 2 teams. Fordham won by 12. They're getting 4 today. We'll take it. We will take it. Now, when Wednesdays, my man Mikey, he's been off for a couple of days. He grinds it out. We have to give him days off. But, man, I love when Wednesday rolls around because I get to do this again. So, M Squared, let's get it started. You know the drill, son! Johnny B, this is for you, baby. Give it to me.
All right, Big East battle here in college basketball. St. John's versus Xavier. I'm taking St. John's -1.5 here. I like this spot quite a bit for them. Big contrast in styles of play. St. John's plays with basically the quickest pace in college basketball. I have them rated number 2 in terms of pace of play. The only spot that they're really vulnerable to this Xavier team is the offensive glass. Xavier, the way that they stay in this game, the way they stay in some of these games is going to be through second chance opportunities. That's really the only thing that I can see with them keeping this one really competitive. St. John's just beat this team by 13. These 2 teams are really trending in opposite directions. Xavier has lost and failed to cover in each of their last 4 games. St. John's is definitely picking up some positive momentum over the second half of the season. I think this line should be closer to 4. So give me St. John's -1.5.
And that is a 7 p.m. Eastern time. When they're on, man, St. John's is a lot of fun to watch. I love the chat for several different reasons, but when you guys help the show, that's fantastic. So Ken Jerf says, Coach, when you give out a soccer play, can you also tell us what league they are in? Thanks. Thank you for asking. And absolutely I can do that. And I should do that. So the Athletic Bilbao game today is the Copa del Rey semifinal. the Copa del Rey semifinals. So look for that at your book, okay? But I will start to do that from now on. So my apologies, and thank you for pointing that out. All right, now, Johnny, sometimes we have to make an adjustment, right? Sometimes we have to evolve, pivot. You were planning on having Major League Baseball spring training games to play for all the degenerates. But instead, we've got other degenerate baseball to bet on. What do you got?
Yeah, sometimes we got to make some changes, Coach. And today we've got a little bit of a tongue twister, but we're going to go Southern Mississippi money line against Mississippi State. And it's Southern Mississippi money line plus 110. Huge rivalry game tonight in Mississippi. This game is actually at a neutral field. But if you watch college baseball, I know what you're thinking. Mississippi State won the College World Series last season, and Southern Miss is a mid-major. However, this will be Mississippi State's 5th game in 6 days, and they have a big series against my Tulane Green Wave coming up this weekend, and they'll need to save their pitching arms for that. Southern Miss has also won 40 games in 5 straight full seasons. College baseball, you only play about 60 games, and they've made regionals in all 5 of those seasons. So this is a very good team. And Mississippi State barely beat Grambling State last night, while Southern Miss had Tuesday off. Southern Miss was also picked to win a very tough Conference USA before the season. And as I mentioned, when they made regionals last season, they beat Florida State and Ole Miss in regionals before getting knocked out in the double elimination format by Ole Miss. So this is a good baseball team, and Mississippi State hasn't hit their stride yet. I like Southern Miss at plus money.
You had me at Southern Miss. You also said something that's never been said on the show before, ever. You're making history, Johnny. You said, my Tulane Green Wave. It's never been said before. I don't think anybody's ever got a Tulane that's been on the show.
There aren't many Tulane Green Wave fans, but I am one of the avid few, Coach.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Last time I was in New Orleans, I was in the hospital. One too many hurricanes. I don't like to talk about it.
You wouldn't be the first person.
Nor the last, right?
Nor the last.
Now, everybody in the chat is talking about AB being on a heater. He certainly is, but we have another man who's also on a heater right now. We're just staying out of his way. Zach Attack, you're up.
Okay, we're going to start off in the Atlantic 10. St. Joseph's, a road favorite, -1.5 against LaSalle. We're going to take St. Joseph's. This is always a good matchup. Anytime you have a couple of the schools from the Philadelphia Big Five, it's going to be a good game. You can throw out the records here, but I look at LaSalle. They're coming off a big win over Dayton. They beat them 62-60, and all season long in conference, they have lost the next game. They only have 3 wins in conference, so you could pretty much be assured of that. And then St. Joseph, surprising here, they have covered their last 5 road games, and most of those have been tight. Let me go over those real quick. A half-point cover against George Mason, a half-point cover against St. Bonaventure, 6-point cover against Davidson, 1-point cover against UMass, and a half-point cover against St. Louis. So they're a good road team, and with this extra emphasis on the Philadelphia Big Five schools, they'll get this win today. And then Tennessee State -3 against SIU Edwardsville. This is another March Madness betting lesson for me. People will always say you cannot beat a team 3 times in a row in one season in college basketball, and it's sports in particular, but I don't think that is true. You beat a team at home, you beat them on the road. You're going to be in a neutral site game today against SIU Edwardsville. That means a cheaper price to me. This Tennessee State team, both these teams are well below 500, but when you've watched them play this year, you would not be able to tell with Tennessee State. They beat them by 16 points less than 2 weeks ago, beat them by 5 on the road. I think they get the 3rd win today.
I'll tell you what, you do not have to be, you said, I want to be quick. You don't have to be quick when you're giving us that much great information. Amazing, Zach, from you. By the way, whoever wants to take this, Mikey or Zach or Maestro in the chat, they're asking about Middle Tennessee State and why the number is where it is, because Middle Tennessee State has been a cover machine. Anybody want to hit on this one? They're playing, I just looked it up. They're -2 currently against Charlotte, and it's on the road for Middle Tennessee State. They've been covering everything. Any thoughts?
They've been really good. It must be that senior day factor. I know Charlotte has a couple of seniors on that team.
Okay, maybe so. All right, well, I'm going to be playing it because SportsLine tells me to play it. And if you're not a SportsLine member, come on. You know what I always say. What are you doing? Now, when we get to this part of the show, Zach, thank you very much, by the way. Yes, Maestro.
Coach, I just want to chime in on the question that popped up on the screen about the USFL and XFL. We were actually just talking about that in a meeting yesterday, planning for that. And RJ White, who everybody knows from his NFL stardom, But when we had the XFL, what was it, a couple of years ago? The guy was like 16-4. And so he will be taking over, making all the USFL, XFL plays on the site.
Oh, fantastic. Do you know who was the lead host for the pregame show for the XFL?
No clue.
You're looking at him, big boy. You're looking at him right here. They're right here. Made it through 6 games. They bounced the check, and that was my career with the XFL. Thank you, Vince. Thank you very much, Vince. Send me a check. All right. Now, thank you, Maestro, for bringing up the bad memories. Thank you so much. My bank account. Thanks, you too. All right. Now, he is our anchor. He is so much a part of the heartbeat of what this show has become. So, Maestro, let's pivot from the XFL and the USFL, and let's get back to what? Oh, college hoops. What do you got?
All right, NEC tournament. Wagner hosting St. Francis, the Red Flash out of Pennsylvania. They've beaten them twice, but both games fairly competitive, 8 points and 15 points. And Wagner had a 14-game winning streak earlier this season, but they lost one of their key guys, a big guard, a senior guard, Elijah Ford. Since then, 3-3 down the stretch, 2-4 against the number. And if you look at the spreads in those games, failing to meet the odds makers' expectations by a combined 45 points over those 6 games, including the 2 games they barely covered. So getting 12 points, St. Francis can score. Both games were fairly competitive. I'm going to take 12 in the opening round, the quarterfinals of the NEC tournament.
Yeah, I encourage people to really make sure whether or not you're betting on a tournament game or just a regular season game, because it makes a difference sometimes, because teams are just worried about winning, and you get a 12-point spread, you'll take that a lot of the time. They don't care. They just want to advance. They just want to advance. You know what? People just aren't always happy. You know what I mean? So my man, where is it? Wes in the chat says, perfect parlay. Bring it back for the community. AB is on fire. Well, you guys realize whether it's the perfect parlay, the AB3, or the jeweler's gem, it's all the same thing. Like, it doesn't matter what we call it. We're giving you winning parlays every single day. That's okay. If you want me to call it the perfect parlay, I'll call it the perfect parlay. But we give out $300 cash on the AB3. I'm just saying. All right. I haven't forgotten anybody, have I? I haven't forgotten anything. We're all good to go. Johnny, are you good? You're good?
I'm good, Coach.
All right, my man. All right, let's go. We're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of AB on the 1s and the 2s, and it is glorious. Maestro's on St. Francis plus 12. Zach Attack, I'm telling you, load up on this guy. St. Joe's minus 1.5. Tennessee State minus the 3 for the 3rd time this season. Then Mikey on St. John's taking on Xavier at home. They are dynamic, laying 1.5. Then Johnny B, Southern Miss in college baseball plus 110. And then from the side of SportsLine, if you're not a member yet, use the promo code early, and I'll give you 30 days for free. Try it out, all the analysis, all the simulations, all the cappers for free for 30 days. And right now, during March Madness, are you kidding me? So we're going to go Athletic Bilbao, draw no bet from one of the best soccer cappers in the world, Buckets. You'll get to meet him if you're new. Plus 100. Then Fordham plus the 4. That's from Mad Max and the Thunderdome. Then the 2-piece today. Auburn minus 3.5. Pelicans on the money line. Put it together. Plus 167. What a fun show. What a fun brand. What a fun time to do this. So, for those of you who are new, welcome. We want you here every single day. And at this point of the show, we bring it all together. There's only one thing left to do. Everybody, tell the new people what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. Maestro, Johnny B, M Squared, and the red hot Zack Attack, and AB on the 1s and the 2s, and then always lurking, the jeweler, our executive producer, puts it all together here at the brand. I am the coach. Tell all your friends. There's only one place. You want to have fun. You want to be educated. You want to be entertained. It's right here. Early Edge. Good luck.